It starts on an ordinary morning. You wake up to sunlight streaming through your bedroom window. The alarm goes off. You hit snooze, coffee, shower, traffic, the usual rhythm of life. You're sitting at your desk, scrolling through emails, when your phone buzzes. A news alert. Astronomical anomaly detected. You swipe it away. Probably nothing. But then your coworker looks out the window and says something strange. Does the sun look stuck to you? You laugh it off. The sun doesn't get stuck. Except when you check your watch, it's been 10 a.m. for the last 3 hours. The shadows outside haven't moved. The clouds are frozen in place. That's when the emergency broadcast interrupts every screen, every phone, every radio. Earth's rotation has ceased. Repeat. Earth's rotation has stopped. For 4.5 billion years, our planet has been spinning, 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. You've been moving faster than the speed of sound your entire life without feeling it. Every breath you've ever taken, every step you've ever walked, was on a spinning sphere hurtling through space. And now, in an instant, it stopped. You didn't. The first thing you feel is the jolt. Not violent, but wrong, like missing a step in the dark. Objects around you shift slightly eastward. Coffee cups slide across tables. Pictures tilt on walls. Then comes the sound. A low, distant roar building from the east. It's not thunder. It's not wind. It's everything that wasn't bolted down. Still traveling at 1,000 miles per hour. If you're at the equator, you have seconds. The ground stopped, but you, the air, the water, everything loose, kept moving. Cars flip end over end. Buildings shear apart horizontally. The top floors fly eastward, like launched missiles, while the foundations stay rooted. You see people outside become projectiles, not falling. Flying horizontally at supersonic speeds. They don't scream. There's no time. The devastation spreads inland like a wave. Entire cities are scoured clean in under a minute, not crushed, scraped away. The debris field extends for hundreds of miles, a horizontal avalanche of concrete, steel, glass, and everything that was once a civilization. If you're away from the equator, you have minutes. The rotational speed is slower, but the result is the same. You watch from your window as the chaos approaches, a wall of dust and destruction rolling toward you at the speed of a jet. You run, but where? The atmosphere didn't stop either. While Earth's surface halted, the air kept moving. 1,000 miles per hour, 7 times stronger than the most powerful hurricane ever recorded. These aren't winds. This is atmospheric obliteration. The sound is incomprehensible. A sustained roar louder than standing next to a rocket launch. The air itself screams as it tears across the stationary ground at supersonic speeds. If you manage to reach a deep basement or underground parking garage, you feel the building shake. The walls vibrate. Dust falls from the ceiling. You cover your ears, but it doesn't help. The sound penetrates bone. Above ground, the wind doesn't blow things over. It sandblasts them into nothing. Mountains lose their peaks. Forests are ripped from the ground, roots and all. The ocean's surface is torn away in sheets of spray, turning seawater into vapor that scours everything it touches. The friction generates heat, massive amounts of heat. The air begins to glow orange. Objects spontaneously combust purely from air resistance. The sky turns the color of fire. This continues for hours. 6, maybe 8 hours, as the atmosphere slowly loses speed, transferring its momentum to the ground through friction and destruction. By the time the winds finally die down, nothing remains above ground. The surface is bare rock, gray, lifeless, silent. But Earth isn't done with you yet. The oceans, billions of tons of water, also kept their momentum. At the equator, seawater surges eastward in waves kilometers high. Not meters, kilometers. Walls of water taller than mountains racing across continents at hundreds of miles per hour. These aren't traditional waves that rise and fall. They're relocations. The Pacific Ocean doesn't stay in the Pacific. It moves, drowning entire landmasses under kilometers of water. Coastal cities vanish in seconds, but the water doesn't stop at the coast. It keeps going inland, pushed by the momentum of the entire ocean behind it. Cities 1,000 kilometers from the sea find themselves underwater. When the water finally stops, it doesn't drain. It sits there, permanent. Sea levels are completely redistributed. Some areas that were dry land are now deep ocean. Some areas that were ocean are now exposed seabed, seeing sunlight for the first time in millions of years. The geography of Earth has been permanently rewritten. Somehow, impossibly, you survived. Maybe you were in a deep underground bunker when it happened. Maybe you were far from the equator where the effects were less severe. Maybe you were just lucky. You emerge weeks later, after the winds have stopped, after the waters have settled. The air smells of dust and salt and something burnt. The world you step into is unrecognizable. The sky looks wrong. One side is bright, almost blinding. The other side is pitch black. The sun hasn't moved in weeks. That's when you realize, without rotation, there's no day-night cycle. One half of Earth permanently faces the sun. The other half faces permanent darkness. The day side is a hellscape. The sun beats down on the same hemisphere endlessly. Temperatures climb past 200 degrees. The ground glows with heat. Rocks begin to melt. The air shimmers and distorts. The night side is frozen. Without sunlight, temperatures plummet to negative 200 degrees. The atmosphere itself condenses and falls as liquid. Pools of liquid nitrogen form on the ground, glowing faintly blue in the darkness. Between these two extremes, in the narrow twilight band where day meets night, there's a thin strip of almost survivable temperatures. Not comfortable, but survivable. This is the only place left. But even here, the weather is violent. Hot air from the day side rushes toward the frozen night side, creating permanent supersonic winds. Storms rage eternally in the boundary zone. There's no agriculture, no stable ecosystem. You're surviving on whatever you can scavenge from the ruins. Then the magnetic field collapses. Earth's magnetic field is generated by rotation. The spinning liquid iron core creates electric currents, which generate the protective bubble that shields us from solar radiation. Stop the rotation, and the field dies. Within weeks, the magnetosphere begins to fail. Solar wind, which normally flows harmlessly around Earth, now strikes the atmosphere directly. Cosmic radiation increases. The sky fills with auroras, beautiful but deadly. Without the magnetic field, Earth's atmosphere begins to erode. Stripped away by solar wind, atom by atom, just like Mars lost its atmosphere billions of years ago. For the survivors in the twilight zone, radiation becomes the final threat. Even underground, the constant bombardment makes long-term survival impossible. Within a generation, humanity is extinct. But Earth keeps spinning through space, just not on its axis. Billions of years from now, long after the last human has died, long after every trace of civilization has been eroded away, Earth will still be here, tidally locked to the sun. One face baking, one face frozen, lifeless. A beautiful blue marble turned into a barren, divided world. And maybe, somewhere in the universe, another species will point their telescopes at our solar system and wonder what happened to the third planet, why it stopped spinning, why it died. They'll never know it was us. That for a brief moment, Earth was home to billions of people who lived their entire lives on a spinning sphere, never once thinking about what would happen if it stopped, until it did. This is what would happen if Earth stopped rotating. Not a bang, a slow, grinding silence. Right now, you're on a sphere spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. You don't feel it. You never have. But it's the only reason you're alive. It gives us day and night. It distributes heat. It generates the magnetic field that protects us. It stabilizes the atmosphere that lets us breathe. Don't take it for granted. If these journeys through impossible scenarios help you appreciate the fragile balance that keeps us alive, consider subscribing. We explore the catastrophic to better understand the beautiful. Because right now, beneath your feet, Earth is still spinning, and as long as it does, you're safe until the next journey.